All right, welcome back. Here we are. We're in Module 9. Now, Module 9, we're switching off to another textbook. And I'm going to link to it here. Go through, read modules, or the first 3 chapters in here. At a minimum, the first 2. The first 3 will be a great resource. And then come back to this video after you've done that, because it'll all make a whole lot better sense. So we're going to be talking about one of the most transformative and rapidly growing applications of Internet of Things, which is healthcare. And the next module will deal with transportation, but we're going to deal with healthcare first. So the integration of IoT into healthcare environments is revolutionizing the way care is being delivered, the way it's being monitored, and the way it's being managed. It's helping clinicians make better decisions, enabling patients to become more involved in their health, and providing systems to reduce costs and improve outcomes. Now, the text, broad overview, and it's a great text to get this broad overview, but just the first few chapters. So, with that said, we're going to deal with how IoT is applied across the healthcare spectrum, from wearable sensors and remote patient monitoring to hospital asset tracking and AI-powered diagnostics. We'll also consider the benefits, challenges, and critical concerns like security, privacy, and standardization. Let's start off by defining what IoT in healthcare, often abbreviated as IoT-MT, the Internet of Medical Things. So IoT in healthcare, or IoT of medical things. IoT of medical things refers to a system of connected devices and applications that connect, analyze, and transmit health data over a network. Now, these include wearable devices like fitness trackers, heart monitors, in-home medical devices like glucose monitors, and clinical systems such as infusion pumps, imaging equipment, and even hospital beds and embedded sensors. These IoT systems communicate data to healthcare professionals or automated systems for monitoring, decision making, and action. The ultimate goal is to provide continuous, proactive, and personalized care, which is a major shift from traditional reactive healthcare models. So let's take a look at some core applications of IoT in healthcare, or in Internet of Medical Things. First, we have remote patient monitoring, or RPM. This is perhaps the most well-known use case. Devices like wearable ECG monitors, smart thermometers, pulse oximeters, and blood pressure cuffs allow patients to be monitored continuously at home. These devices can transmit data to the physicians in real time or at set intervals, allowing early detection of abnormalities and reducing the need for in-person visits, reducing the cost associated with inpatient as opposed to the patient being home. For chronic disease management, think of conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or COPD. RPM provides vital insight into daily health trends, making it easier to adjust medications or treatment plans proactively. Next is smart wearable technology. These devices, often worn on the wrist, chest, or even as clothing, make various health parameters such as heart rate, step count, calories burned, sleep cycles, oxygen levels easy to measure. Advanced wearables can detect arrhythmias, measure stress levels through galvanic skin response, or even perform limited ECG functions. They're not just used for fitness, but increasingly for clinical purposes as well. We also have ambient assisted living systems, which support the elderly and people with disabilities. These IoT systems can monitor movement within the home, detect falls, track medication adherence, and alert caregivers or emergency services if something seems wrong. The goal is to promote independence, dignity, and safety for people who may otherwise require constant supervision. Then there's clinical environment monitoring. Hospitals use IoT sensors to maintain optimal conditions in the patient rooms, in operating theaters, and in pharmaceutical storage areas. For example, smart temperature and humidity sensors can ensure that medications or vaccines are stored under proper conditions. IoT systems can also monitor hand hygiene compliance among staff to prevent hospital-acquired infections. Another major area is hospital asset tracking. With so much mobile equipment in healthcare settings, like wheelchairs, ventilators, infusion pumps, losing track of them can waste time, delay treatment, and increase costs. IoT-enabled RFID tags or Bluetooth beacons allow staff to quickly locate equipment and optimize asset usage. Now let's talk a little bit about the benefits of IoT in healthcare. First and foremost is enhanced patient outcomes. Real-time data collection enables faster diagnosis, better treatment, earlier intervention, especially for high-risk patients. Second is increased efficiency. Automating tasks like vitals, monitoring, or inventory management saves time for healthcare workers and reduces administrative burden. Third, there's cost reduction. By shifting care from hospitals to the home through remote monitoring and early detection, hospitals can reduce admissions or readmissions, manage chronic conditions more effectively, and free up critical resources. And finally, IoT enables personalized medicine. Continuous health data helps clinicians tailor treatments to each patient's unique physiological patterns and responses. Now, as promising as all this sounds, IoT in healthcare also faces serious challenges. The most critical concern is data privacy, as well as security. Healthcare data is incredibly sensitive and valuable. IoT devices that collect and transmit this data are often resource constrained, making it difficult to implement strong encryption and or authentication mechanisms. Now, this opens the door to cyber attacks, data breaches, and ransomware incidents. This thing, what would it be like if somebody hacked your grandparents' pacemaker or something? It's not something we want to even think about, And if it is possible, we're going to take every step we can to prevent it. So a related issue is the interoperability. Healthcare systems often use proprietary protocols or data formats that don't talk to each other. We talked about this before in it was Module 7, Standards and Solutions. Without a common standard, integrating new devices or systems can be time-consuming and very expensive. This limits the scalability of IoT solutions. Reliability is another key issue. If an IoT device fails, say a heart monitor malfunctions or stops transmitting data, it can have life-threatening consequences. Devices need to be robust, fault-tolerant, and rigorously tested for performance. There are also regulatory and compliance issues. Medical IoT devices often need to meet strict requirements from bodies like the FDA or European Medical Device Regulation. Navigating this landscape is complex, and it's expensive for manufacturers. And then there's the ethical dimension. Continuous monitoring can feel intrusive, raising concerns about patient autonomy, informed consent, how about digital surveillance. Even well-meaning applications can lead to unintended consequences if not designed with ethics in mind. So, how are these challenges being addressed? Well, from a security standpoint, newer IoT systems are starting to implement end-to-end encryption, secure boot, digital certificates, as well as hardware-based security features. Cloud platforms supporting healthcare IoT are investing heavily in HIPAA-compliant infrastructure and tools for accessing, or I should say tools for access control and auditing. For interoperability, organizations like HL7 and IHE are developing standardized frameworks such as FHIR, which represents Fast Healthcare Interoperability Resources, which defines how healthcare information can be exchanged between devices and systems. Edge computing is also gaining popularity in healthcare IoT. Rather than sending raw data to the cloud for processing, edge devices perform some analysis locally. This reduces latency, which preserves bandwidth and can even improve privacy by limiting data exposure. We should also mention the role of AI. So artificial intelligence and machine learning are being combined with IoT to create powerful diagnostic and predictive tools. For example, wearable devices can detect atrial fibrillation and alert users or doctors to take immediate action. In hospital settings, AI systems analyze streaming sensor data to detect patient deterioration before traditional methods could. One rapidly growing area is the integration of blockchain for securing health records and improving data traceability. Blockchain provides a decentralized, immutable ledger, ideal for verifying access and modifications to sensitive patient data. So let's look ahead into the future of IoT and healthcare. Well, it's incredibly promising. Some of the things we'll see is the use of implantable devices that monitor health metrics from within the body, such as continuous glucose monitors or smart pacemakers. They're coming up with smaller devices today. I saw in the news the other day, super small pacemakers. Telemedicine platforms will become more sophisticated, integrating seamlessly with IoT sensors to provide real-time feedback during virtual consultations. 5G connectivity will also play a key role, allowing for ultra-reliable, low-latency communication between devices and enabling applications like remote surgery and real-time diagnostics in ambulances. Lastly, patient empowerment will continue to grow as consumers become more comfortable using technology to manage their health. They'll expect devices that are easy to use, that provide actionable insights, and respect their privacy. So, from here, going to be a quiz in the next module. In Module 10, there'll be a quiz that covers Modules 9 and 10. To prepare for this quiz, it says in this module, but the quiz is going to be, as I said, in the next one. You're going to focus on the following key takeaways. Understand the main types of IoT applications in healthcare, including remote monitoring, wearable and ambient assisted living. Know the benefits and challenges of IoT integration in clinical and non-clinical settings. Be familiar with privacy, security, and reliability issues, and health technologies like edge computing, blockchain, and encryption help address them. Recognize the importance of interoperability and the role of standards like HL7 and FHIR. And be able to identify future trends in healthcare IoT, including AI integration, implantable sensors, and 5G. So that's it for Module 9. And healthcare is one of the most impactful and fast evolving domains in IoT, as we've seen in this module. It touches not just on technology, but also ethics, law, and human well-being. As we move into the next module, Module 10, we're going to focus on another domain where IoT is making big changes, and that's transportation. So I'll see you over there in Module 10.